Yeah. We're here at the Cream City Skateboard Park. We're doing a couple 2-3 questions with Lance. All right, first off, what's your setup? What are we working with right now? What's your width on your board?
I'm about my board or me? Yeah.
You look good, man.
My board.
This guy right here.
My street board is the size of my old vert board from like 5 years ago or 10 years ago.
That's
so
like
I have an 878.
878.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's 878. I ride 49s and I ride 56s again.
Oh, you're back to even on the streets, a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
I like it.
Found that my timing is right with a 56 rather than a 54 or
yeah.
So I have a bunch of setups. If I go ride curbs,
yeah,
I've been riding 48s.
Yeah, some little guys.
Yeah, I think
like
48s or 58s. Yeah, no, 48s.
All
and
right.
then on vert I ride 58s.
I see
Same truck but tighter.
Hold on, look at this little guy. Little custom kingpin in the back.
I flipped my back kingpin.
I like that. That's cool.
I broke my wrist on a feeble last year from sticking out my kingpin.
Let me see. One more thing too. Okay, no top washers. On the back truck though.
Yeah, I ride my back truck a little tighter than my front.
Okay.
And I ride a hard bushing in the back and a soft in the front. I like my front truck being a little looser and my back truck tighter.
That's nice. And then look at these guys. Are those the soft riser pads?
Soft riser pads.
Are those?
I don't know why I ride riser pads.
Maybe, I guess it might stop your trucks from loosening up.
I think it softens the ride when you're rattly. It does change your trajectory a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why I went to 56s. I think.
All right.
Because my tail hits too soon and doesn't. All that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Leverage and everything else.
All the guys in the '90s were super.
It's chilly out
very
there, huh?
specific about their setups.
Yep.
And some of that rubbed off on me because when we're young, we didn't rode whatever, didn't know what we're riding, and then I think the kids now ride whatever, don't know what they're riding. But I think some of the '90s technology, it just rubbed off on us. Like, you know what? We need this to do that, and we need this to do that. Like the 59s because of no slides.
Yeah.
And they just don't touch like stupid things. So
right.
I have like 15 setups. I'm gonna do a line where I do one trick on one board and then I get another board and do another. So.
What about wheelbase?
This one's 13 3/4, 7/8.
Holy cow!
It's under 14.
That's a little guy.
Because my stumpy little flick.
Yeah. That does help a little bit though, huh?
It does.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I can't flick, but my foot can't even go off the front of a 15-inch wheelbase.
Well, if you're riding like vert or bull, what's your wheelbase on a board like that?
Well, if I ride big stuff, I ride 15, but I typically been riding pools for years, so I ride 14 3/4.
Okay. Sounds good.
I usually have a double wheelbase on my board.
Yeah.
And people know, like, why do you have a double? Because no one wants to ride a 14 3/4. I do. So I put both on it for them.
All right. That makes sense.
This interview is only like 2 hours long.
Yeah,
you asked me what was my waist size.
All right. How about favorite issue of 411? Or a memory from 411 how do you get involved in that? I like that.
What was the last one? 50 something? That was my favorite one. The last one I did.
The last one you did. God, I look forward to that.
It was a blessing in disguise, and I knew it coming on. There's a lot of people thought I owned it, and a lot of people that skated during that time knew me because I was introducing it. So a simple question is, this kid Rodrigo TX from Brazil, that rode for the firm, didn't know I skateboarded. He thought I did 411 when he met me.
That's a good fun fact.
So there is, it kept me like in the eye of the newer kids, so there's value there.
Right,
but,
for sure.
I got no money for it, so.
Oh, we all loved it though. It was great. You were the best host on that.
I gotta get all this. I want to get all the bloopers and things edited together because I know there's some silly ones in there.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
I didn't say
I've
I've said this every time. For everyone's name that I said wrong, I'm sorry.
Were most of the times when you did your introductions, how many takes would it take?
I don't know. I have to.
Could you,
none of them were.
Could you bust them out usually pretty
not
quick?
Not one of them did I make it all the way through.
No.
No, and memorize it and make it. I know there's a handstand one because I've seen it recently, and I know I'm reading it. It's all written there, and I'm trying to read it on my board while I'm doing the handstand because I couldn't memorize or get through the names, so they always had to be broken up. So yeah, I usually try to jam them really fast. A couple of them I didn't do. I think my son did one. He probably did it faster than I did. But it would be like, an hour and a half, get it done.
Wow.
Take a long time.
Yeah, that is a long time. All right, what else we got? Do you have a favorite skate video? How about from early days to now? Maybe two.
We grew up seeing these films in school, in the theater, and the first films we saw was Magic Rolling Board,
I'll have to check that.
Freewheeling, and I'm always going to mix it up because I always forget if it's Go For It or Five Summer Stories, but one of them had Steve Monahan in it. And so Freewheeling was Stacy, story about Stacy Peralta. Magic Rolling Board was kind of like, those were the films that we saw when we were kids.
All right.
And so...
I mean, I would skip school to watch Gleaming the Cube.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It would be the same thing as that, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, for your era.
Right.
But they were just, they're a lot of surf film kind of makings of skateboarding. And those were the first things we saw. I liked that.
YouTube Freewheeling tonight.
Then, Freewheeling was a story of Stacy when he was on Zephyr, really.
All right.
He doesn't like it, but it was what we saw when we were kids, and it's like, oh wow, this is our introduction to skateboarding, and it was cool.
Any newer videos
I think ultimately the favorite video I'd go back and watch now. Can't watch our own videos, even though I think Future Primitive is really good for its time or whatever. Or I think the Bones Brigade video show is great because it gave me that thing.
Yeah.
If I'm going to go back and watch videos, I'm going to watch these early films that they're not even out there, of 78, 79. I think it's the best. And and they don't have them there, but John Lucero made a documentary on Dwayne Peters called Who Cares?
Okay.
And in the DVD there's an extras, and he has a thing called I think it's called Super Sessions.
All right.
And it's very, very quick clips of most of the guys that were a year before us skating pools in the skate parks, of Jay Smith and Steve Olson and stuff, and I would watch that stuff all day long to get stoked.
Yeah.
Or I would jump forward probably to the blind video.
Video days?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, video days, and I think Plan B questionable. When I started getting those, just got me juiced.
So Plan B questionable or something like that was more, I would go video days because that was we had street skated a bunch. We had ridden curbs. We had done all the Skate City stuff, the slappies, and everything kind of before the industry was doing contests and stuff. And Mark was, even though he was a skate park kid, I'm sure we didn't know his name and stuff yet, but when it moved there, it was, this is what we want to learn. We had progressed it and led it, and then when you don't lead it, you're either rejected and you're upset about it, I think, and quit, or you get very drawn to the next. And Guy Mariano and Rudy were on PAL, and that was supposed to be my team that Stacy had me lead, and I just didn't want to stop skating and do what he did, which was quit his career and have these kids. So it's I would have been, in my mind, would have been the Stacy Peralta of that group. So it's like a huge kinship to that group to me.
Okay.
They obviously weren't going to be like we wanted to skate with Mark Gonzalez. He was so interesting. So I like that video for that reason. It is like the death of us, and also like the just wow. Yeah. These guys are having these guys are having what we had. It's so cool.
Right.
So I would go there.
All right. What else? Favorite food?
I like anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like not making the decision of where we're going to go eat. That's what I like.
That's fair.
And I like eating new stuff. But you know, when we were kids, like.
Ooh. Yep.
You know, when we were kids, like growing up where I grew up is basically East LA, like Mexican food.
Yep.
Like there's nothing like it anywhere else. Like you can't get the same. Just saying Mexican food here is like saying nothing. Like you can't, you know, like that's like Mexican food in East LA is like there's none other. Like you don't find it anywhere else. So I like Mexican food a lot, and then I like anything. I like Thai food. I like sushi. I like things that I never would have eaten when I was a kid.
Yeah, I was a picky eater growing up.
So,
expanded my horizons.
Is ice cream a food?
What's it?
Ice cream a food?
Yeah.
I like ice cream.
Perfect. Favorite skater from the 80s and one from today. Somebody you like to watch.
So many.
Yeah, I know. It's hard
so many. I always do it in groups.
You can do a group.
I always do it in groups. But I honestly, if I have to like just pin it down and be pinned down to when I liked a lot of guys before our opportunity was coming, but when our opportunity was coming and you're like, okay, you're going to be a pro, and how are you, what are you going to be? I thought the best two skateboarders at that point of time was Dwayne Peters and Neil Blender.
All right.
And so I wanted to be some weird mix of those two, and they were like, they had two of the best things I think in skateboarding. Dwayne had complete passion, skated always a little bit above his ability, was always scary to watch and beautiful to watch, but he was completely in control and never fell and was a real professional. And Neil Blender's brain, the way he thought of things and what they should be and how to we spent hours trying to stall inverts rather than just learn them and to get a point. And so you would waste hours and hours of trying to make this thing your own rather than just skate for a point in a contest.
Yeah.
And so those two are my favorite basis of what I wanted to be as a skateboarder. Even though, I had everybody before them, Stacy and Jay and Tony and Senator and like even the freestylers, Ed Nadalins and stuff. And today, I'd probably choose the weirdness of the same sort of thing. Like, I mean, I'm trying to think in those terms. Like, in today's top, I would want to be a mixture between Grant Taylor and Nyjah. Or Jamie Foy. Or
hell of a combo.
Dan Vanderlyn.
Yes.
Some weird mix of all whatever that is. I don't know what that is. Even though, I mean, Nyjah's not he's been doing that. He's like the Tony, so he's been doing that for so long. He's like probably looking at these new kids that he knows can do stuff he can't do. But that was a weird answer.
I like it. I like weird. And I guess we're in Milwaukee. We got the turf about to reopen. Have you ever skated the turf?
I've skated the turf on a Veriflex tour in 1981 with Steve Hirsch, Eric Grisham, Freddie DeSoto, Patty Hoffman, Gil Losey and Alan Losey and Gil Jr. And I think, I'm pretty sure, like I was saying, Opie Moore, I think he rode for Powell, was there that day, and I think the Bodemans were there.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty much closing, probably.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's more than 10 people there.
Right.
I don't know. There could have been 200. I think there was maybe 10. And a fun fact on that one, like the guy that drew Skate Cities, the park that we rode for and grew up in, Art Kent, he drew Milwaukee.
He what?
He drew the plans for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the turf. The guy that drew Skate City. And so the clover is actually on plan, the same clover as Skate City, even though it's nothing like it.
Yeah.
He drew, I believe, Big O, maybe Odyssey, Skate City, and yeah, his son still skates, and his son's probably going to come out to the opening.
That's a great fun fact.
I was trying to get him to come here. Yeah, and they're still around, but they drew the original drawings for these parks.
Yeah.
And there's a little bowl called the Footy Bowl.
Yep.
I think most of the locals called it that because they think it's like a foot high, maybe? Is that what they...
I don't know how it...
I don't know if anyone knows why they think it's called the Footy Bowl, but Art Kent's nickname is Foodie, and it's actually the Foodie Bowl. It was like his little sketch, the Foodie Bowl.
Interesting.
But I think it's become local. It's like it's a foot tall. It's a Footy Bowl.
Well, thanks for coming down to Milwaukee. Let's maybe go inside and warm up. It's a little chilly out here.
Nice but cold.
Yeah. Thanks, Lance.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Try to edit that.